afternoon. Let's see. Oops, I hit F11 by mistake or something and pulled up the editor. Join me live on YouTube now. I hope you guys have had an amazing weekend. I am so thankful for my CMT exam to be done. I was so exhausted on Friday. I literally just crashed. Like, I came home, I'd finished by 9 a.m. and I watched the market open and I passed out. And I passed out hard because I'd been up late studying for, goodness, every single night from Saturday on. I was up late studying and I am a little late. Hey, welcome everyone. What do you guys think of my new hair? I am a little bit later today because of my new hair color. I was trying to go really fuchsia. Let me show you the color. This light here doesn't really justify the color. So I took a picture. Let's see if you guys can see that. That's more the color that it is now. So it's sort of like a bit more fuchsia, but it's dark. And I really like it, but it's not really what I wanted. So I'm going to keep working on it. I don't quit. And I know what I did wrong because I have some darker pigments in it and I had to lift out the darker pigments and all that good stuff. So I will get it fixed. But I will figure out how to do that. I am a determined woman. All right, so let me just get the charts up. They are loading and I had the live stream up. Okay, cancel, save. So we'll get that loaded as soon as it's loaded. If you guys are new to my channel, know that I do live streams Sunday afternoons and Monday, 12:15, Monday through Friday, basically every trading day, 12:15. All right, we got the charts loaded. For some reason, I have to clean everything up over here. And, oh, see, I got an alert. And this is, I've got to figure out what's going on because yeah, I got to clean up all the drawings. Thank you. I already know that. And we'll get the live stream up over here so I can see you guys on the chat. There we go. Awesome. All right, let's set this up. Hey, Terry. Hey, Hamish. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right. Yeah, I really like it better, but you can't really see the color in this light. I don't know why. I tried to change it, but it's not working. All right, so let's clean this up. I got some fun things that I was playing with, some oscillators and indicators that I was playing with before my exam, and all of that good stuff. All right, this is really weird. Why is the watch list over like this? Very strange. All right, so we're going to put it to the Sunday watch list. And if you guys have any questions, we were moving to the upside. Now let's go and look at equity clock, right? So we want to continue, check it once a week, see what's due to happen for the sectors, for the indexes, to see what might potentially happen. It's not a guarantee, but when you're, I don't know why I hit commodities. I don't want commodities. I want to have S&P 500. So let's go back here. I want to look at broad market. The pivot points you have, what input are you using? 10 is the default, I think. Mark, I think I have it left at 14. I think that's the one that I have as default. Okay, let's go here. I think it's page 2 for S&P 500. So that's why I'm also in my bathrobe today. But hey, that's the beauty of trading, right? And the world that we're in, we can chill in our bathrobes. And let's see, seasonal healthcare. No, we don't want healthcare. We want the regular 500, S&P 500. Okay, beautiful. So look at what happens, tends to happen roughly the second week, right? We'll say this is first week, this is second week. And then after the second week, after there's a bigger drawdown, then it just sort of runs up into Christmas. And then the last couple days, we have that sell-off. So looking for potentially this pullback to happen and then a bigger move up into Christmas. So we might potentially see that we have that pullback right now. Also with Apple as well. Apple has that seasonality. And let's go up here. Sorry if I made you dizzy by doing that. Let's hit search. It's searching. Okay, same scenario. So Apple tends to go sideways and then a bigger pullback almost right, like maybe the 20th, and then they surge higher. And it's usually a great time to get in right there, because then it just continues on up pretty much till mid-February, a little pullback there, and then April, and then another little pullback, and then sideways from May until June. TTD? Yeah, we'll look at it, G-Man. All right, so let's get rid of these over here. And I will start adding, I'll put mine on, and we will add yours as well. Up to 200%, are we looking at a pullback? Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to pull over my list as well so you guys can see it. Let's detach this. Okay, so this is my list for going into the week. FNKO, NETD, PD, SPLK, SNPS, BIG, CMBM, hey ASIF, LI, XPEV, JMIA, and then potential swings over here. So let's add them up here, and then I will also add, I'll add PLTR for you too. FNKO, NETE, PD, SPLK, SNPS, BIG, CMBM, LI, XPEV, JMIA, PAVM, SATS, SFET, GLBS, EGO, all right, TTD, and PLTR. Done. All right, so let's look at the SPY first off, right? So the SPY, we're going to put the daily over here on the left, 45-minute on the right. All right, so we have a massive surge. I'm not sure why I have this red line up here at 370.59. I'm not sure if that's something that I saw as a measurement in the past, you know, like I did with Tesla. I said 684 is my target. I did get out of Tesla at 576. And saw like it looked like it was going to really curl down, and then it surged up again. So I'm going to check this out again and see, I might capture that $80 move to the upside, but it was looking a little overextended to me at that time. So right now, I have no idea why I have that line there, but something to watch and check and see. Hey, we came up, the highest volume spike was right here at the end of the day, right? So many times CMT studies, right? High volume spikes really tend to be indicative of reversals. So when we see a high volume spike at the top or a high volume spike at the bottom, many times that will be a reversal. Hey, Julia. So keeping that in mind, you know, seeing here, we had this high volume spike back here, and what happened, right? High volume spike at the top, and we sold off. Where else did we have a higher volume spike? This higher volume spike right here, and we surged higher. Then we had a higher volume spike the day prior. It was a doji day. And then we have a little bit of like a doji sandwich, bullish doji sandwich, because it's bullish day, doji, another bullish day, closed at the top of the day. So looking at all that, is this going to surge higher? Let's also look at Apple as well, because Apple, Microsoft, of course, are the ones that can really move it to the upside. So for Apple, it looks like we almost have a bit of a rounded top. We have the volume descending, which is normal if we're going to also see a bit of a pullback. Typically on the downward trend, we will see a descending volume as well. Fong D. Hi, Jane. Curious to hear your thoughts about Airbnb IPO. Yeah, for sure. We'll talk about that. Thank Bad Scientist. Not quite what I wanted, but it's okay. It's a work in progress, right? So to me, it almost looks like we have a bit of a curved top up here for Apple because we're below the averages for the second time, actually third time, right? So we had this day we went below, this day we went below, and now we're still below. So is this going to be almost like a triple top type scenario? A little bit of a head and shoulders here, right? But we didn't break down this shoulder. If it fails and continues back up above 123.25, then might be a bigger move to the upside. So let's add CRM, Uber, SWKS, LCA. Is that LCA Records? That's all I can think of when I see LCA. All right, so looking at Apple, might be ready to curl over. Microsoft as well looks a lot like Apple. So it's kind of suspect to me that the SPY is surging so high. And remember, that is 500 stocks. When we look at the Qs, we'll look at it again, Hamish. So the Qs, this is suspect to me when we see that the top two are sort of curling over, right? This does not have that pattern. Many times when we look, let's go over here. ETFdatabase.com. It's like there's a bit of divergence between the top stocks and the index, which leads me to believe that one of them is not true, right? Because we want to see that it is right here. No, not short. I just want to go to QQQ. All right, Invesco QQQ, our holdings. We'll break this down. Yes, so Apple and Microsoft, that's 23%, right? So granted, okay, there's 77% otherwise. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon is the next, and Amazon has 9%. So between the three of these, that's the top third of the Qs, right? Hello, that's it. So with Amazon, what's our daily chart looking like? Amazon is curling over too right now. I do have a long position as long as we stay above 31.45 over here, above this box, which acted as a support where it bounced off of in the past. Does look like a bit of an M setup, so I'm going to watch and see if 31.45 does fail. SPY would trade closer to NQ once Tesla gets included. Potentially, yeah. But remember that the SPY also has the 500 stocks, and it's really like the top 35 that will account for roughly like 40% of the SPY. But looking at the Qs, it's much more skewed. And so when the top ones, we see that these are all about to roll over. And then when we look at the Qs, it's not showing us that. If this had had a bit more of a doji day right here with this hammer, or not the hammer, but like a spinning top up here, then that would make sense to me. But right now, it's kind of like the Qs are lying to me. Naughty Qs. All right, let's look at Funko. Yes, RTY. Yeah, for sure. Money is definitely flowing. It's always flowing. All right, so Funko. For looking at this, it's really overextended a bit, but we had crazy volume the past 2 days. This is lower float with 18.6 million in the float. So that's why I brought it back to a 45-minute chart over here. And if we draw our horizontal lines, I'd look for 10 to hold as support. Couple of reasons. We've got the 425 over here, also round number, and I'd also look for 11 for that breakout. Why? 11 was resistance in the past. We had some extra volume come in just below right here at close. A lot of people were getting out. They were not able to hold it up, so we want to have that proof. So 10 and 11, and it was 57% short float on Friday. Just sort of went sideways at the end of close. Could it be options? GM, what are you talking about for options? Could it be options? I'm not sure. Eric. I'll add Erickson on there. Let's see. So I'm going to put this at 1080 and 1150. Could it be options? That's why the Qs hasn't rolled over. No, but the Qs, the options wouldn't necessarily cause it to roll over. Options are going to play a part in the VIX with the pricing, right? For the VIX, but it's not going to necessarily play a part in if it's going to roll over or not, if that makes sense. The stock shares will make a bigger part. SNE, okay. All right, so here for net, we would look, you can see we had this nice, we had a nice flag set up over here, right? And now we're breaking out. So this almost looks like this was a bigger 1, 2, potential 3 wave. We could see that this could really surge higher, potentially $18. Look at that. I didn't, just looking at the chart over here, and that was pretty much resistance, was $17 in the past. So I'd say that I'd use that as a rough target as well. All right, let's go to PD. So PD has 62.1 million in it, had a big gap up, could be a measuring gap right in the middle of the run. Look at all these terms. That exam was a wealth of knowledge that tested a lot. Okay, so looking at a 45-minute chart, I would really bring it up here, 38.50 and 41. Looking at the 45-minute chart, that's where I really see support that happened end of day, and then it surged higher from there. So 38.50 and 41. All right, SPLK. Oh, Julio, you know what? I don't find out for up to 8 weeks. So all I know is I'm done. And my last 3 practice tests that I took, I had passing scores. And so I went over, I took my time with this one. I broke my habit of testing too quickly. I tend to test really fast. All of my practice exams were 37 minutes. I did this one in an hour and 20. So I took my time. Yeah. Hey, Julia. Welcome. All right. So over here, we did hit the 425 for SPLUNK. So when we look back at the past, let's auto adjust that one. And wow, look at all these I can get rid of. Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. So this has a big downward drop. After earnings, market definitely didn't like it. However, it did have a long leg doji with high volume here, and we're just above that 425. When did it hit that 425 in the past? Sort of resistance back in March. This one might be the potential to get in for that gap up close. I have no idea what's going on with the volume, but just looking at it, if this obviously breaks above 169, definitely it will fill the gap. Has that resistance over here, roughly at 170.80. So I'd watch, you know, even getting in 161, that's potentially a $9 move to test 8 to 169 and then $9 up. It does seem like it's setting up for a bit of a curved bottom right here. So definitely watching that. Al Jahori, hey. Oh yeah, they're all live. You know what, Al Jahori, if you follow me on Twitter, you can see the link, or also if you go on to my Instagram, I also offer that there. Is AMD on my list for Kyle? I will add it on, that's it. All right, there's AMD. Okay, SPLK, so 158 and 163. I'm gonna put 164. Hold on, 158 and 164. All right, let's look at SNPS. So SNPS, Synopsys, package software. Looks like we've got a bit of a wide range, almost a channel happening over here. Wrong one. I'm seeing this. This is what my eye is seeing. Right, maybe right here. If we do that, it came up and immediately they brought it back down, bouncing. So we might be testing this upper resistance. So I'd watch it and see if this is going to continue to the upside. Is this going to set up for a corrective? Is this 1, 2, 3 up? We're going to have a little bit of a wave 4 pullback and then a bigger surge higher. So I definitely just keep this one on watch. Let me get rid of that channel right there. We don't need it. $240.12, I'd tighten it down just a little bit. $239.50. Even though that 240 will definitely hold as an area to watch, and 236 right here for support. $239.50. All right, let's go to big. So big as a potential short. This one does have lower float with 38.5. Why do I say continuation to the downside? Well, we had heavy selling off of earnings and it's pulling down. Yeah, you know what? We have been pretty much in lockdown since the beginning of September. Restaurants were closed, you know, no gyms are open. We've gotten used to it up here. And it's just take the kids to school. That's it, pretty much. I'm pretty much at home helping you guys and taking care of the kiddos. So 47 and 47.75 right there, and seeing if it can break above this area that was really support. Actually, I'm going to scooch that on up to 47.80. Oh, yeah, right there. 47.80. Give an extra 8 cents. All right, for big and CMBM. Don't want to make sure I don't have anything else in the back over here. So CMBM Cadmium Networks Corporation. All right, and I know somebody else that wanted me to look at LAC, so we'll look at that one as well, add that on. All right. So 25, that round number, and 26.25 for the upper bounds. You just came out of lockdown in London, right, Hamish? You're in UK, so we can start going to the gym and restaurants in the UK. That's awesome. Congratulations. Did your numbers start dropping on your curve? Our numbers are still in the upward swing here. And I'm going to sound ignorant, Hamish, but do you have like a holiday such as Thanksgiving or anything like that that just happened through all of this? Because both in the US and in Canada, there was Thanksgiving. Canada had it in October, and then the US obviously in November. Yeah. It's a mental struggle. It's more at that than anything else, I think. Tests your mental strength. Reach out, FaceTime with people. Figure out, it's a good time to meditate and also look at your, okay, nice. It's a good time to, set goals. Set goals for yourself. Write down your goals. What do you want to accomplish? And sort of do some introspective work while you're on lockdown. Take the time to honor yourself. So with Lee, I'm sorry, I was talking about other things. So Lee, here we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is A. Maybe that was B, and maybe we're in a C wave. So if we look at this and I pull it back out and I throw another trend line less steep right here, maybe we're going to see Lee come all the way back down to that $23 mark right there. All right. The numbers were not available. Julio. It's like a bad relationship, Julio. Why are you putting more time into it? Yeah, why are you putting more time into it, Julio? Honestly, it's like a bad relationship. You know? Hey, this person, this stock Lee is lying to you. They're not giving you what you want. Do you want to hold on to them? Or you want to set them free and put your money elsewhere? Right? Watch XPV do the same thing. It wouldn't shock me. So XPV, if we move that trend line over, it's respecting that trend line now. However, this might come all the way back down to 2080. We're at 49. So that's a big potential move, right? Keep that in mind. Yeah. Get rid of the mental struggle with it too. You're going to feel better. And life is too short to be saying shoulda, coulda, wouldas, right? So just respect yourself and respect your money. And I can't tell you what to do. I can only say it's probably causing you psychological struggles that you might want to release yourself from, right? All right, JMIA. So JMIA came up. We set a top up here. No longer, we couldn't set a new high, right? So that's not looking good. It's really got resistance roughly over here around $34. And even looking at Friday over here, it's tightened it down even pretty much to the support area right over here. So I'd put 32 and 30. So 30 and 32. All right. And let's look at potential swings, right? Let's do, you want to look at those, Julio, or you were just commenting that they were good? So PAVM. I like this because we have a bit of a cup and handle here, right? So we did break out from this. It's a lower price stock. Usually I'm not saying, hey, let's go out and get lower price stocks, but we had the cup. The handle was a bit more than 50% though, but we're surging and we broke out from 207. So if we measure this, okay, I'll add it to the list. 34 cents. So maybe we're going to go up to 230 on here because it's just a small little cup. But I would keep that on watch. Let's look at the swings on dailies over here. All right. Do you like MCD as a value buy? We'll look at it, David. Fastly, Snow, and McDonald's. I don't know if you guys have watched The C Word on Netflix, but check that out. All about the food that you eat and how it can affect you. Okay, so back to PAVM. We have this downward wedge, right? And it broke out, tested it, and potentially back up. So maybe you'd get, like a dollar move up to 340 as well, $1.30, and you'd get more than 50% gain. Looking at it like that, I wouldn't go, and also look at the volume ramping up as well. It's starting to increase. Maybe there'll be a reversal there, but it's still not in overbought territory. All right, SATS. So SATS is coming down a bit. However, we have this double bottom. So I like that it's curling up a bit. It would really need to break above 25 really for me to be confident that this is going to be in the upward swing. Remember when everybody was looking at tile and then like 2 weeks later, then they came out and they're like, oh, hey, look, tile looks like a great swing. And I put it on my potential swing list 2 weeks before. Maybe that's going to be SATS, catching it on this bounce, higher volume down here at the bottom. However, we have not closed above this candlestick day with a high of 24.40. So let's set an alert there. Hey, alert 24.40, crossing up. Oops, not down, crossing up. All right, there we go. Got that. All right, let's look at I didn't want FET, SFET. This, I believe, is lower float and crazy volume, right? Again, another type of penny stock, but look at this all the way down here. Let's go down here. So we really had this area of longer term consolidation. We could even bring it up here. So it needs to really break above 125 with some volume. And then we have this base right here. Look at what happened over here, same sort of time frame. All of a sudden, then it went from 146 up to 2. So maybe it'll come back up and test that 146. 20 cents or 20%, right, on a lower price stock. This one might be one you'd want to look at with logarithmic scale because of the price. Globus as well. Globus is one that does tend to spike. They just had earnings. They had a split. Let's zoom in here. Earnings report for JKS, Solar, Costco, Adobe, and Oracle this week. Thank you, Julio. Thank you guys for the contributions. You make it easier. All right, so Globus, you can see it really was like testing here. Nope, 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 nope. Hey, look, we broke out, right? So it might come back and test 950 again from the upside. I would like to see that that's proved as support, and then we might test 11 from there. And then we have this split that happened. So right after the split or right before the split, it pulled back, massive volume. People getting in, it looks like, because it never dropped below 690. Now we're up here. If I were to get into this, I would use roughly 880 as my support area over here. All right, Ego. I like Ego for a couple of reasons. Disclosure, I do have a position in it, been in it for quite a while now. I got in over here at 12:17. I think this day we went to 12:17. Yeah, this was the day that I got in. And I like it because over here, let's type in El Dorado. One thing that looks interesting to me is when we look at it, that's it, earnings report for JKS. Yeah. Okay, so El Dorado, not resorts, but gold. El Dorado gold. So this is the Canadian one. And look at the nice move that tends to happen the end of the year. So for Canadians, that is the potential move over 20-year range. For Americans, we might have a bit more of a drawdown and then surge higher. However, it didn't really follow through with this. It followed more like an upward move. And now we're the first week done. And Maybe we'll come back further, but maybe we're just going to surge higher from here, another 10% maybe from this point. So keep it on watch. I like it, especially with gold. Gold is, let's go to the gold futures. And I remember someone asked me about where I thought Apple might go for the 20th. We will look at that. So gold on the futures has a nice cup and handle, right? On the really big time frame, like on the monthly chart. So keeping that on watch, I can get rid of this. You can see once we broke that trend line there, that boom, it came all the way back up. So we have a bit of a descending triangle. I think it's something like 57% of the time descending triangles break out to the upside. Well, this was the first test, it didn't happen. And now we have that potential for it to continue further. So keeping this on watch, I don't even know where this should be, over here, really. It's kind of weird. Oh, I bet you it's on the monthly chart. That's why. So I would keep this on watch. I would really look for breakout above 1865 and then secondary confirmation above 1920. I should read The Unknown Market Wizards. You just started on Friday. Good read. I learned about how to use commitment from traders from one of the wizards. Yeah, commitment from other traders can determine. And something else that with the CMT study is day traders, they tend to associate as noise, and the longer term traders are the ones that really move the market. Longer term traders also being those major hedge funds that have a lot of money in it. Yeah, G-Man. So with Fastly, might be that rumor, buy the rumor, sell the news. Then they come out, Cisco says, hey, we're going to buy it out. Guess what? Boom, it goes down, right? Just like earnings with Tesla and Apple. So let's go back to Apple really quickly to answer that one question, and then we'll continue looking forward with stocks. All right, so where do I think that Apple might come back? I would say we might pull back to 118, 119. If it were to pull down even further, maybe we're looking down here at that 114, the bottom of this wedge right here. Getting rid of this line. Yeah, we respected it. We broke out. Okay, now there's a new one that's formed. So looking to see maybe we're going to pull back. If we go to the 20th, who knows? If it comes down further, maybe. I really don't think we'll come all the way back down to 104. That's a pretty big drop. That's, that's 18% drop. I don't think we're going to see that in Apple. If we do see that in Apple, the market's going to feel it too. Right? So I think we're likely going to pull back down here, roughly 114, 115 area for Apple. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It hasn't, it did break that wedge to the upside. And anytime that you have that wedge sort of happening, it's an intensification of the potential move to happen. So we broke out to the upside, but we have a new resistance on that wedge. So will we come back down and this will hold, or it's going to go back down further? Ooh, we will see. All right, we're going to continue. I was on Ego. Let's look at TTD. And for everybody that's here, please hit that thumbs up, as it helps YouTube to share my stuff so that everybody can get to see and learn, and also share it with your friends. Tell them when to come on over. All right, so the trade desk. Trade desk is lower float. We have a nice little almost handle formation here, testing the higher high, and it really needs to break above and hold above 90, 912. I would say 900. 912 is like an eighth out of, yeah, you don't know whether to hold or bail. You're in and since 200. Beautiful. That's awesome, G-Man. So looking at it, G-Man, it's still riding this wave to the upside, right? Longer term, depending on how long you're looking to hold this, look at it on a weekly chart, right? Would you be okay with it pulling back to 763 and still being in it? That's what I would use. I would look at it that way and say, hey, okay, as long as it holds above 750, I'm going to hold on to it. If it's something that you're not comfortable with, I can't determine your risk tolerance and where your comfort level is, then maybe you tighten it. Maybe you tighten it to 850 and you take 50% off if it goes below 850. The best thing you can do, as you've seen with this grow exponentially, is take off partial. Then you know you've already locked a profit, and psychologically you're not going, oh my gosh, I let it all go down. Okay, so your risk tolerance is high. So maybe you let it go, let it see. If there's a massive volume spike too, and then it starts to come down, that might be significant of, hey. But this might also be like, I don't know if the statistics are true. I need to look up more of these statistics of 80 to 100. Like if it hits 80, it tends to hit 100. Well, this hit 800. Oh, thank you, Steve. You rock. So thank you to Steve. He just gave me a super chat. Ah, very kind of you, Steve. Thank you. And this could pull back further, but this could also easily hit 1,000. What's the statistics of something going from 800 to 1,000? So thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. All right. I'm not canceling that. Okay, let's look at PLTR. So PLTR looks to have corrected back a bit. The averages are not crawling over yet. However, it seems like it has stalled in momentum, right? These daily candlesticks are always telling us the story. Who's winning, the buyers or the sellers, right? If it's going up, well, the buyers are in control. If it is dropping down, then, hey, the sellers are in control. So right now we're slowly moving up. We have sellers taking pressure here. This is kind of like it's an inside day, indecision day, lower volume. I don't know if you're long or short this, whoever asked me, but this might come back to the downside. If we break below, I would look at 23 as a level to watch. We had a doji day right here, higher volume, and we went above. So that's kind of bullish in itself, but we're also in the downward trend. So maybe this is A, B, and maybe we have a bit of a C down to here, 20, 30, or $20. Maybe, to keep that in mind. Okay, CRM. Oops, I hit Uber. CRM, Uber's nice. Look at that. CRM, Salesforce came down, hit this moving average, consolidated, and now it looks like potentially we could see it move to the upside. So let's pull this down here. Longer term, I would look at 220.50 as support and have that breakout confirmation if it could break above 228.50 right there. All right, let's look at Uber. Uber is breaking out. I know up here I've used Uber delivery now one time. But that is something that's cool. I don't know if there's a lot of people, gig workers, that are doing Uber as a delivery service. Also, what was it? So Uber, way back, where was it? Where was the big sell-off with Uber? Where they had their CEO sell off his stock, right? Roughly 6 months. Okay, cool. On CRM. Thanks, Steve. So Uber came down. I think it was this kind of looks like an inverted head and shoulders here too on the daily chart. Okay, so SWKS, Skyworks. So Skyworks almost looks like it's got a bit of a curled top to me. Like this. Ooh. But it looks like it's broken out over here, which is nice. We have some higher volume. I would look at 150 for that confirmation up above. Oh, drug delivery service. Drug as in pot or as in pharmaceuticals? Which one? Okay. Also, so Skyworks, let's look at it on a weekly as well. Definitely curling to the upside. Yeah, it's still in that upward trend here. So pharma, thank you. So looking for it to hold and break above. You can see that, hey, it sold off here, sold off here. We had a quick run up just for 1 week, and then they had selling pressure coming down. So that bigger picture even, I would look for 136 to hold on the weekly chart. Okay, LCA. So someone asked me on LCA. It had this nice run up. It looks bullish, ending up almost at the high of the day as a nice potential long swing right there, and came back down. We had doji day right here up above. Looks like it really bounced off of 1950 up here, and let's pull it back on the weekly chart, see if we have any sort of resistance. No, it's an IPO, so right now, but the one thing to look at is that it is a super steep, well, it's fairly steep, right here. Let's draw it right here. So it's 45 would be like average, obviously. So it has some room to pull back to roughly $20 over here. So it's a little extended for that reason, but other than that, I like this one potentially to the long side. All right, crowd strike. Breaking out as well. I like to back it out so I can see what we're looking at. I would look for breakout above 170. It's a bit extended away from moving averages, but we had an engulfing day right here, bullish, just had earnings. So second day, many times the third day will continue to the upside, and then it might pull back from there. So I would look for 169. Well, yeah, let's go to 169, tighten it a little bit. Max R. Okay, I'll check it out, Al Jahori. Yeah, I'll add it on here. So max R. Oops, I forgot the A. All right, let's go to Ericsson. So Ericsson, a nice ascending triangle right there. Do you guys see that? My eye sees it immediately now. Yeah, baby. Ascending triangle. Looking for a breakout of roughly that 1250 area. If it breaks out, confirmation with some volume. Let's go back to a weekly chart. Aha, we have a little bit of resistance back here, right? So would look for a next test of roughly $13. If $13 break, then 14, and then on up to look like that 1550 over there. So would keep that one on watch. We do have this wedge that's nicely forming on that one. Nice call out, whoever called that out. All right, SNE. Let's go back on our daily. Let's tighten this up here. All right, so, oops. So I'd look for 95 breakout. 94.82 was the former high. So we've got 60 cents. If they want to really move it up, they'll take it up. And it looks like a little island of trading up here. Gappy, Sony, I guess maybe it trades on the Japanese Nikkei. And this had a really steep line. You can see, oh, no, we've corrected it. Now we're not as steep, but we have that nice ascending triangle, right? And we're following the moving averages up, all good. And volume is dropping a little bit. Would look for that breakout above 95 here for Sony. AMD. So AMD had a nice breakout, tested the former high over here, 94.28. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. We don't need those. All right, nice move up above. Also don't need this triangle over here. And we have a little bit of indecision here. The sellers were stepping in, you know, couldn't confirm one way or the other really. And now potentially, I'd look for that test of 95 here as well. If this could break up above 95, it came back testing the moving averages and could be moving up. We also have LAC, L-A-C. So LAC looks like it's in a bit of a channel as well when I look at it on the daily here. Right? So maybe this, as long as it holds this channel, this might be an area to get in if volume comes into it. It's looking like it's almost oversold. However, it's not below 40 would be oversold. And this might have a move up to 1280 from where we are if volume comes into it. So we almost have like a triple top here and a bit of a triple bottom on that channel. So I'd watch that. But many times as well, when we see this, it might break to the downside. Maybe it's going to come back to 817 before it continues further. Fastly, so you said that this moved on. Yeah, look at that. It's sort of in this channel zone again. So it would need to break out for me above 99.50. Alert. Let's break out above 99.50 for Fastly. Because we had all this move here. It shot up and then boom, came right back down. Looks as if maybe they bought into it down here, they being the big guys, tested that again, moved it up. So as well, would watch to see if it breaks below 67.28. Alert. Crossing down, 67.25 we'll put. All right, Snow 47, nice. Snowflake, what is this? Package software. So this one I think is low float and it has a crazy, let's check really quickly. right here. Snow low, no, stock Wall Street Journal will tell us really quickly. Right over here, 18.9. There you go. So this is a higher priced low float stock. So this one can really run, right? Yeah. I was in Tesla. I went out. We'll look at Tesla too. So Snowflake, right? This is extended, could pull back to 345. That's a $40 move to the downside. That's pretty risky, right? So I would wait potentially until it's less risk for getting in. See how it just sort of rides these? This is not a good day to get in. This is a better day to get in. Going up, just crossing them. All right, McDonald's. So McDonald's, let's pull it out. So it hit a resistance up here. It was not able to hold up above. We have a bit of a descending triangle here. So descending triangles are good for upward breakouts, but it needs to prove itself, right? It needs to prove that it's going to break out. So I'd look at it over here. We want to see that it's going to break above 215.80. If it could break above there, maybe even a little higher, 218. Yeah, I'll check Zoom, Hamish. I would look to see if that's going to break up right there. And we'll also look at Nikola and Zoom because I want to look at those two as well. So MaxR, nice, up here, 31.50. You can see that that was really a resistance in the past. And we have a bit of an inverted head and shoulders. Do you guys see that? Inverted right here, shoulder, head, shoulder, and then it broke out above the neckline. So if we go and potentially measure the depth, 21 to 28, $7. So 28, roughly 35 maybe as a target for MaxR. All right, let's look at Zoom. So Zoom, lots of little lines over here. All right, so we'll get rid of this one. We don't need that. It came back. This one, we don't really need that. And we have this downward wedge here. And this one, we can adjust this over here because now that's set a new, it's respected over here. So maybe this is going to pull back down to 343. However, it looks like we have a bottom here and a bit of a bottom volume came in. Doji day and a bit of a indecision day right here that it opened and closed just a little bit lower. Selling power. Hey, Mike. Good afternoon. So looking at this indecision, I would wait for it to break up above. I would like it to break up above 420 or below 398. Mike, let me guess. Do you want to check NEO? Let's look at NEO for Mike. Okay. So Mike, what does this chart look like? Putting you on the spot, Mike. I've got 40.50 over here. And let's look at Nikola because Nikola had a big sell-off as well. Yes, it does look bearish, right, Steve? All right, so Nikola has the potential to maybe, we're hitting that 425 EMA. You can see how it came back here, volume came into it. There were a couple of days where, I'm gonna zoom this like this, and I just heard my little one wake up, so I might have to run too, guys. This had this consolidation area right over here in the past, and then once it broke out, look at how it just surged higher. Right? So I don't know if all of this buying that happened back here liquidated over here. However, it's somewhat in that range and we might see that this is going to surge higher again. Maybe we're going to test up here. Let's get rid of this line over here. So watching Nikola for that. I know there was a bunch of fraud information on it. Just looking at the technicals, solely on the technicals, especially with newer traders coming into it, they might say, oh my goodness, look at what happened in the past. I want to jump in on this price action. So my little one is up. She's at the door. The door is locked. She's whimpering. So I am going to run for today. Thank you guys for joining me. Come and join me at 12:15 on Monday. I will see you then, and 7:30 in the morning roughly on Tuesday for yoga if you guys want to learn how to really ground yourselves before the trading day. So carpe profit, seize those profits one trade at a time, and I will see you all at 12:15 tomorrow. Have a great afternoon. Bye.